Welcome to the conversation. During my second full playthrough of Poppy Playtime, I spent some time taking a closer look at the toys that the factory was producing. I wanted to know what kinds of toys they were, what happened to them, and what led me to believe that they had some connection to the missing Playtime Co. employees. After taking a closer look, I'm ready to lay out some theories with you. Let's talk. Like my other videos on Poppy Playtime, this one will contain spoilers as well. You've been warned. The toys. Let's take a closer look at the toys themselves. The first one I set eyes on when I entered the gift shop was Boogie Bot. By the music notes and the pose of the toy on the box, it's clear that this little robot played music and danced to the beat. He is green in color with a black screen for a face. His eyes probably lit up on the screen and changed shape to give him more life. His feet were actually track wheels, similar to what you'd see on a tank, and probably helped him roll over carpets, hardwood floors, and tile floors with ease. His arms likely moved to the beat of the song he was playing from his speakers, and he probably bounced on his legs as he cruised around any family home that bought him. He may also have been able to pick up things with his arms, as he is seen on posters around the warehouse doing just that, but that might just have been a fun way that the company incorporated its products into the training posters. I'm not gonna lie, this is the type of toy I would have bought for my niece or nephew, as I am that aunt that buys the noisiest toys I possibly can just to give my sister a headache even when I'm not around. The second toy I noticed in the gift shop was Candy Cat. On the box, it looks like a blue cat that acts like a candy dispenser, producing gumballs or some other type of round candy for the kids that play with it to eat. The legs look posable and movable, and something tells me that the trigger for the mechanism to release the candy is the tail. I picture that a child would pull the tail, triggering the toy to take on a position similar to the cat on the box, and out pops candy from its mouth, along with the coughing noise from the cat. The problem I have with this toy is that children are very impressionable. If they see a toy like this, they may think all cats spit out candy when you pull their tail, or think that anything coming out of a cat's mouth is candy. Trust me, children put all sorts of things into their mouths. I wonder how many kids got scratched by a cat for pulling its tail in hopes of candy, or ate a hairball thinking it was a treat thanks to this toy. Ugh. After I left the gift shop, I found the remains of Cat Bee, a cat with tiny wings on its back. Its paint job makes it look like a house cat meets a tiger. Sure, it looks cute, but let's break this little thing down a bit more. Its eyes are sad, looking rather hopeless or disappointed. This, paired with the little wings on its back, makes me think that this toy gives off a sort of Eeyore vibe. You know, Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh? I think this little cat bee has wings that cannot sustain its weight, meaning it has wings but can't fly at all. Because of this, it's depressed or distraught at its obvious poor design. Probably thinking too far into things here, but that's my theory and I'm sticking to it until it's disproven. While exploring the rest of the entranceway to the factory, I found the remains of several Bron the Dino bodies around. From what I can piece together, get it? Piece together, Bron was a pretty traditional toy. It seemed to be made out of red and yellow plastic, had the standard toy construction of movable legs and head, and was shaped like what an average kid would think a dinosaur looked like. I also noticed that many of the pieces of Bron didn't have blood on them. It could have been an oversight, or perhaps this toy didn't have the same dark source of life that the others had. More on that in a second. Other than these toys, we see Huggy boxes around, with toys still inside a few of them. Don't worry, we'll cover Huggy in his own video. And parts of a random blue-eyed doll strewn around. These doll parts may be in connection to the video we see when we first load up the game, the ones that are being constructed when tours of the factory are being discussed. But for now, they will remain nameless until we know more about them. The Make-A-Friend machine. All of the toys are said to be made in the Make-A-Friend machine, so let's take a moment and look at this before we get into the theories I have about the toys. The machine is first seen in the Make a Friend room of the public-facing areas of the factory. According to the plaque in front of this machine, it was first developed by Elliot Ludwig in 1960. He was the founder of the company and seemed to be a genius toy maker. It was designed to paint, assemble, and do a quality inspection of the toy all on its own. This was to remove the need for complex sorting and back-breaking labor. The machine has 3 stations, each with eyes and a mouth. The unpainted plastic parts are sent into the first station, through a mouth of jagged white teeth, I may add, and given a coat of fresh paint. It then moves through the tubes into the second station, where it is chomped on a few times. The station's eyes vigilantly watching me the entire time. The third station scans the toy and makes sure it's ready to go. Something this advanced, made in 1960? Kind of suspicious. Heck, the first laser scanner system was developed in 1969, so something isn't right here. But wait a second. On the Huggy plaque, it says that it's a 4-step process to make the toys. This may imply that there is a missing step to how toys are made in the factory. I believe that the machine we see here isn't the real machine that builds all the toys. I mean, how could all of the toys go through just this one machine and produce enough supply to meet the high demands the company claims there was on its toys? I also believe that there is a missing step to how the toys were developed. As I mentioned, there was a 4-step process. I think the last step to the process before it is inspected is infusing the toy with a soul, making it come to life. My theories. The first theory I have is that the toys are alive. Seems pretty obvious that they at least move on their own, but this could just be that the toys were more advanced. Why do I think the toys are alive? Well, first and most obvious is the blood. There is a lot of blood around the factory, like way too much of it. No bodies, no body parts, and most of the blood is found on and around the toys themselves, or on the boxes the toys came from. We also know, after taking a closer look at Poppy in the last video, that Poppy's voice box was covered in blood when it was removed during a maintenance video. Another piece of evidence to the toys being alive are the boxes. For example, this Boogie Bot box. The flaps of ripped cardboard left behind seem like they were pushed out from within. The plastic from the front of these Huggy boxes are also curled outward, and the top flap is hanging forward, not back like you would find if someone punched through the front to grab the toy. The glass in the hallway leading towards the gift shop also proves that something jumped out of the displays. All of the glass is on the floor, and none of it is where toys were presumably displayed. If someone smashed the glass from the outside, all of the shards would be on the shelf, not on the floor. It's pretty clear that the toys freed themselves from the inside of their boxes and displays. The last theory I have about the toys so far is that they were made from the employees that worked at the company. The first time I played through the game, I wasn't so sure if it was the employees or maybe the kids in the orphanage run by Playtime Co. that were used to make the toys come to life. But I think it was the employees. First off, we get the note mentioning that they all disappeared. We don't find any bodies so far in the game, so it seems that they didn't just die. Second bit of information is from the gray tape that we find near Poppy's room. It seems that the company was experimenting on people, and what easier source of test subjects than your own employees? Could it be that they were using their experiments for a bigger purpose? Don't worry, I'm going to do a deep dive of this tape in a future video, because now that I listened to it again, yeah, I got some theories on it. So that about covers it for the toys. I know I still haven't talked about Huggy, but I feel like he deserves his own video. He is the most recognizable icon for the game, much like Bendy or Freddy Fazbear, so I feel like he needs to be covered separately. As I said before, I love looking into the lore behind games like this, and want to know what your theories are. Do you agree with these theories about the toys? Or did you come up with something completely different than I did? Please leave a comment below and join the conversation. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can see when I post the next video about Poppy Playtime. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.